Public Policy Polling, which was one of the most accurate polling organizations in the last presidential campaign, is back in the spotlight tonight with a new poll showing 51% of Illinois voters say they would support First Lady Michelle Obama for a run for the seat formerly held by her husband in the United States Senate against that state's current Republican Senator, Mark Kirk. 60% of Illinois voters say they have a favorable view of the First Lady, just 33% an unfavorable view. Democratic Congressman James Clyburn of South Carolina told Newsweek he would love her to run. It would be a breath of fresh air in D.C. She's honest and straightforward, which is not what you see in Washington much. She is exactly what we need around here. The President and First Lady were asked about running for office on The View before the election.
She should run for office, but she said she doesn't want to.
You know.
Yeah, look, I mean, Michelle would be terrific, but temperamentally, I just don't think that.
Wait, no, it's absolutely true. It takes a lot of patience to be the president of the United States, and I'm not that patient. You know, I am not.
Joining me now is Anna Marie Cox, political correspondent for The Guardian, and MSNBC's Jonathan Capehart. Anna Marie, 51%, where Michelle Obama is polling now, is higher than where Hillary Clinton was polling the first time they ran polls on her running in New York. She was polling at 48, and then she actually went down to 42. So it's Michelle's if she wants it. Any chance you think she might want it?
I guess that's the real question, isn't it? You know, we all like to play this game where we feel like we know people through what we see of them on TV, and especially even someone with as controlled an image as Michelle Obama. I don't know. I mean, it's probably impolitic for her to say so right now. I do want to point out this is a very strong tradition in American politics. The first woman ever elected to the Senate inherited the seat of her husband, and about a third of all the women elected to Congress until the 1970s filled the seats that were vacated by their husbands, usually because they died. So this is something that we're used to doing. I can't say this is my favorite way for women to get elected to Congress, but right now it is one of the historically most successful ways for them to get elected to Congress.
Well, Jonathan Capehart, the parallels are getting a little too perfect here. Last time around with Hillary Clinton, we had Congressman Charlie Rangel urging Hillary Clinton to run. Now you have Congressman Clyburn urging Michelle Obama to run. It all takes the same shape.
It all takes the same shape, but to answer your original question to Anna Marie Cox, whether I thought Michelle Obama would want to run for Senate, let me quote the late Whitney Houston, "Hell to the nah." There is no way that the First Lady would run for Senate. Did you see her reaction on the clip that you showed in The View as to whether she would run for office? She vigorously said, "No way, no way." And everything that we know about her, as much as we like her, we know she doesn't want to run for elective office. Politics is a hard game, and she went through it in the first campaign, President Obama's first campaign for office, and it wasn't terribly pleasant. So can you imagine what it would be like to stand on your own 2 feet and put yourself up for public office? She's smarter than that.
An unnamed top White House official told Newsweek Michelle Obama doesn't have the temperament for the constant BS that goes on in D.C. She watched her husband fight fights that he shouldn't have to. She's seen the ugly side of Washington up close and personal and has no interest in dealing with that firsthand. Mm-hmm. I think she knows there are other ways to impact the system from the outside in. She'll find those, but it won't be through public office. That's not who she is. That reads, Anna Marie, like a semi-official leak from the White House, White House official who said that.
And yet it also reads exactly what you'd want to hear from someone who you wanted to, who is running for Congress. No, I couldn't possibly take this job. I'm too much of a truth teller, really, to have this job.
Yeah.
That's sort of like, what's your biggest flaw? I work too hard. This sort of is. I would categorize it in the denial category myself.
And back to Hillary Clinton, who seems to have a political future. If she wants it. An ABC News Washington Post poll, Hillary Clinton running for president, 57% support it. 23% of Republicans actually support it. And so, Jonathan, now there's one that is absolutely something that makes sense for her. I don't think we have temperament issue. I don't think we have to do any kind of guessing about his elective office for her. It is. She's wanted it very badly in the past.
Well, look, she ran for president in 2008. She came very, very close to getting the nomination. She didn't succeed. She was appointed Secretary of State by President Obama. She has just been a star in that job as Secretary of State. She's as popular as she's ever been, even more popular than ever. People like her within the Democratic Party. People would love for her to run for president of the United States. So as much as it pains me to talk about 2016 now and talk about whether she is going to run, when all I want her to do is just leave state, take some time off, relax, and don't think about us for a while, it makes sense that we would have this conversation, because it does make sense for her to run for president of the United States.
Anna Marie, she's far more popular than she was when she ran for president. Her disapproval rating was higher than her approval rating when she began running for president, and it didn't get better by running for president.
Yeah, well, that campaign was sort of unfortunate on many levels. And I think as Secretary of State, much as when she was senator and not running for president, if you can separate those two, she's really shown herself to be the kind of hard worker that people respect. I mean, that's her reputation. That's who she is. She is a gold star girl, as my friends and I like to say. She is the girl who's going to get that gold star. She's going to get that A+. She's going to do her homework, and she's going to work her ass off, if I can say that. I guess it's too late.
Apparently you can say that.
And I think that's what she... And I think that's, what she tried to do when she was running. I think she tried to be the candidate she thought she should be. And I think that she's now shown just who she is. And she doesn't have to run as the candidate. She doesn't have to fit into a mold. She can just run as Hillary, and that will work. People know who she is, and they trust her.
Anna Marie, I've just been told that the official MSNBC ruling is that you can say that, but Jonathan and I cannot. Jonathan Capehart and Anna Marie Cox, thank you both for joining me.
Thanks, Lawrence.
Coming up in the rewrite tonight, Mitch McConnell rewrites himself, and George Takei is here for an exclusive interview. And in the last 24 hours, you have contributed another $43,408 to the Kind Fund, Kids in Need of Desks. This shows partnership with UNICEF to build desks in Africa and deliver them to schools there that have never had desks. Please continue to contribute anything you can. $10 will help, anything. You can go to our website, lastworddesks.msnbc.com, where you will find our link to UNICEF's online contribution form. I give desks as Christmas presents to friends, and UNICEF sends an email notifying them that the desk has been donated in their names. I know this is a difficult time for many people to consider charitable giving, but if you can help in any way, please remember kids in need of desks.